Hello and welcome to the behind the scenes of the new motion picture Transient. We're going to take you behind the scenes of Freebird Studios and just show you generally what we're all about.
Sure. Oh, hello there, you just caught me editing. This is our new film, Transient. This is the editing process in our glorious editing suite. We've got the raw footage up here, this is what we've used to put in our project. This is what we've used to make our film. This is iMovie. It's a brilliant piece of kit, and it's great. Yes, we've added in sound effects, we've added in dialogue, we've added in music. Brilliant. I mean, it's a brilliant piece of kit, and it's enabled us to make a brilliant looking film. So the sort of tech we've used this camera here. This is the Panasonic camera. We use this to film the majority of our film. And then we also use this camera here. And this was more for the still pictures, for stuff like the posters and like our photo shoot. So you'll have a look at that later when we show you our posters and all that. And this was the light, comes an additional piece of kit with the camera we also used. And this tripod as well was also very useful, just steadies the camera. And yes, we used all that. So that's kind of all the tech we used in a nutshell. Great.
Now to show you one of my favourite examples of editing. Here's what cutting in iMovie has allowed us to turn it into. Hello and welcome to our recording studio. This is where we did the dialogue for the film. We used a condenser mic with our actor Adam Powers. That was just to get the dialogue that we wanted for the trailer, the you and I and all of that business. And then we got it from here and we took it over to the Mac. So we took the audio from the microphone that we had recorded earlier, we put it through an XLR cable to the mixing desk, and then it went on to the digital audio workstation, Cubase, which is where we deepened it, because the audience feedback it was quite negative, and it said that the vocals weren't as menacing as they thought the character would have been. So we then deepened it here. Now we're going to take you to see the marketing campaign and see how they're getting on.
So yeah, that includes the poster designs, the front cover of the magazine, the designs for that, and also our Facebook page. So yeah, let's go and have a look. Hello there, before I just talk you through our use of social media, new media, and the way we've promoted our film. So basically we've designed this Facebook page to promote our film. So sort of using the conventions of other Facebook pages and other sort of film companies that create these pages. We thought we'd design one because we thought it was a great way of interacting with our audience and letting them interact with us and voice their opinions and give feedback, because at the end of the day it's about appealing to our audience. So we've used this page just to upload related content to the film, so stuff like posters, other sort of promotional material, sort of links and things, and we've also added on our film trailer, which was the main sort of focus of it, which enabled us to, it was a first draft, it just enabled us to allow audiences to come and interact with our film trailer, to give their opinions, and we thought, seeing as it's a first draft, we can use this feedback to then develop our final trailer. So this is the audience feedback. It's just like a test screening to allow them to watch it. So we've got as you can see here, we got sort of several comments relating to this trailer, and a lot of them link to they're really sort of positive things about our use of editing, how we've been creative with that, how we've linked the music and the editing to create suspense. A lot of people have also said about the use of the shaky camera. We've used kind of handheld camera techniques just to provide that sort of tension, to kind of link to the thriller genre, to create kind of a high speed, sort of high octane sort of feel to the film. So yeah, that was a positive, which is good. Some people sort of very popular opinion was that we have a female character in our trailer who doesn't seem to sort of play any sort of particular role, and her role is a bit sort of lost, and audiences don't seem to sort of know why she's there, because we've kind of given her a purpose or a real sort of role in the film. So we thought we'd correct that. We wanted to subvert the traditional gender roles and make it so that she was in the position of power, because we know that we don't want to be a film that follows. We want to follow conventions to a degree, but we don't want to overly follow those and make sort of a interesting. We want to make it interesting film, something that our audiences will be surprised, and just sort of to cause some sort of interaction between the audiences, so they'd be shocked and surprised at what they see. The concept is good. The trailer uses camera shots and music again, shaky, fast camera techniques as well to use to combine all that and to build suspense. So that was another thing. The dialogue, sometimes in some parts of the film trailer it was a bit sort of quiet, or the mixing of the different sounds with the music and other sort of sounds wasn't quite right, and some people said the dialogue got lost at some points, but it got better as it went on. So it just shows that we need to edit that further, mix that just to make that perfect. And also the dialogue as well, people said it wasn't believable, and that people didn't sort of see the dialogue as kind of linking to that scary sort of menacing protagonist who's in our film. So we thought we'd change that, perhaps use sort of pitch shifting techniques just to deepen his voice to make it more menacing. That's always something we can do. Yeah, so it's great. They really liked it. Awesome camera angles. Someone said they want to see this, which is great. Overall, amazing, good work. Really like the creativity. Overall, people said it was great. Suspense was created and intrigue, and they want to go see the main film, which is great. So it just shows the use of new media and social media is really really useful in designing and producing a film. So yeah, so that's really great, and that's sort of how we've used social media to interact with our audience, and for them to interact with us, and just to enable us to create a successfully appealing film for our audience. So there you go.
Just working on the magazine that we're using to promote the film. We've gone for a few conventions of other indie film magazines. We've got a quite simplistic logo up there. We've made it a bit more creative just because I don't think a really plain, that's obviously brand recognition, but I don't think a sort of plain title for the magazine it's not really effective. It doesn't grab a reader's attention like that one does. You instantly know that's a film review magazine. And with the name cutting edge, with the little cut, with the two pieces of film, it just adds brand recognition, I guess. Obviously we've gone for a sort of moody picture of the director, just because it doesn't show that it shows that it's a thriller film. It shows that it's very serious and it's taken very seriously by everyone involved in the film.
Yeah, that's his hide.
And just it doesn't show that it's a comedy and he's not having a laugh. It's a skill film that we've got the best people we know to work on it, just so that we've got a final product that we're proud of. We've got references to other films that are reviewed within the magazine, because a magazine is just about one film, no one would bother buying it. So we show that we've got variety in what we talk about. Obviously we've got our barcode, our price, quite a reasonable price if you ask me. Yeah, that's basically just our film magazine.
Well, hello there, this is my film magazine to accompany my film, Transient. What I've gone for here is more of an independent look, because I know that my film is meant to be an independent film. So basically what I've done is I've based it on this Sight and Sound magazine here. So this is kind of my example, and if I go back to mine, we've got, like the Danny Boyle one just there, it's got kind of blue tie, blue suit and blue background, and I've kind of gone for a similar sort of tying in of colours, so green with the green background, the blue as well, just to make it look like an independent magazine. And we've also got kind of the focus, I mean there is a focus on the film as there are in sort of other magazines, but it's more the focus on the director, as we're focusing more on kind of the art, the production, the design of the film, rather than kind of the big budget sort of side of it all, and is what like sort of mainstream films would do. So you get big action films, and action magazines would, if it was like Thor or like an Avengers film, they'd have that kind of all over the magazine. But I've kind of gone for a kind of understated, calm, sort of independent look. So we've also got sort of other features like the barcode there, the price, the volume number, the issue as well, and the tagline there, the heart of film, which is my tagline that just kind of gives a little description of the film. Magazine kind of just describes what I'll be covering in kind of a nutshell. And yeah, we've also got some current films and directors and actors which are real, they're real people, and it just kind of shows that my magazine is a real magazine, a real contender out there for the consumer to buy. So we got Spectre, which is like the latest James Bond film. We've also got kind of directors as well, and then we got some independent actors as well and directors. And then so we got here as well, we've got what, like I've said, the focus on the director. We've also got a little quote, which is, if I go back to my example, Sight and Sound, he's got a little quote just to sum up what the main article is about, and that's kind of what I've gone for there. Just that ties it in as well, makes it more independent. And we also, lastly, we got the bar at the bottom, just kind of gives a little insight, a little taste of what else is to come. So just kind of some other film-related news to the indie film industry, and sort of other directors and actors related to that, rather than having kind of big mainstream, well-known faces, well-known names. So yes, that's kind of what I've gone for. I've also gone, I'll just touch on this as well, we got the that little bit there, just a little sort of puff, kind of draws attention to that, and it's just like another little sort of draw to the magazine. A year in indie film is just going to be another article of kind of the major highlights of the indie film sort of industry. So yeah, that's kind of what I've gone for on my film magazine.
Oh, hello there. I'm just editing the film poster. Obviously I've gone for a few conventions of the poster. Obviously the title it's quite a simplistic design, but it's the biggest font on the whole poster. You've got the focus of the actor there, Adam Powers, great guy. obviously we've got the idea of motion in there with the train going past in a blur and the feet are blurred to show that he's running, obviously, to show that the speed of the whole film, it foreshadows what the film's going to be like, and it helps people to go, yeah, I definitely want to go and see that. Obviously we've got the survival grew to hunger there as a little tagline, and we thought that was like, that's the essence of the whole film, so we thought we had to have it under there. Obviously I also chose Laurel's up there because we're an indie film, so we're proud more of awards at obviously film festivals rather than reviews in magazines and such. I've got my little credits down there, obviously the date of release. So now I'm just going to show you the example that I sort of based it on. Here we've got a film poster, it's obviously a thriller. You've got the scene behind the main antagonist, or protagonist, I'm not really sure, I've not seen the film, but obviously it's a thriller film and you've got your main character there. With a gun like that you might suspect he's an anti-hero. They've gone for their tagline up there in quite small, so I don't think it's really got the focus that ours does. Obviously their actor's much more prominent on the screen, but he's still and he's looking over what you would assume is his doing. But we thought we'd have the high octane, the high sort of running speed of both the train and the actor. And they've gone for quite dark colours. What I've gone for is a sort of in here with the colour, the gradient overlay, rather. I've gone for a sort of grey haze over the whole thing. I mean, I could have gone more, but that would have really taken away from the picture. If I went to about halfway there, just under, I really think that it's got that dull, monotonous feel that the character feels at the beginning of the film, but with that action throughout in the background. So yeah, that's basically my film poster.
Hello there, this is my Transient film poster. This again accompanies my film. So what I've gone for here is, because it's an independent film, I've gone for sort of nothing too showy, because I know that mainstream posters maybe lots going on, but I'm aware that for independent films we want kind of just a plain, understated sort of poster design. So here we've gone for the Transient tagline, the same as my film. It features in the trailer. So I've gone for like a red background because that kind of ties it all in, because I've got red and white, kind of a little colour scheme going there. So, and kind of the red kind of connotes his hunger, sort of desire, and it kind of ties in with my main character who has kind of a desire for killing. As he sort of progresses, his character develops throughout the film. So yes, we got that. We've got the title, we've got the taglines, Survival Route to Hunger in red, just kind of complements the title nicely, being in red rather than being in white, adds a bit of colour. And we've also got the date there, seen in my film trailer. That's in the same font as the main title. So with that, it kind of all ties in nicely. Really nice sort of design, and I've kind of based that on this one here. So this is an example of a thriller film. It's another sort of action thriller film, which is what I've gone for. It's independent, so it's sort of exactly sort of similar sort of feel to my film. And like we've got here, we've got the sort of the blurring of the character in the back, with the main focus on the gun, and that's kind of what I've gone for there, with the title bold, and then we've got the credit bill there, and the tagline, which is also seen on my film, there towards the bottom, because they're features usually seen on posters. But what I thought was a bit sort of mainstream, a bit cheesy, I thought, with the John, it says John Wick then, the barrel of the gun in the title for the O, and it didn't really sort of fit. I didn't think that would have fit with the independent feel of my poster. So I have kind of focused on the gun. That is the main focus of it. But I didn't want to make it too mainstream, like too cheesy, which I think that one is. That kind of makes it different, differentiates that. And you can kind of use laurels or reviews, and I've kind of gone for a review saying an adrenaline-fueled epic which provides powerful insight into the human condition. And that's from a fellow, I've made that up, the magazine name, but it just kind of entices the audience to go and watch the film for themselves. So yeah, that's kind of what I've gone for in the poster. I've also, the tools I've used, I'll sort of quickly go through that. The Magic Wand tool was a very sort of helpful tool and a very, very useful as it was able to get rid of the background of the text. So I've got my film title there, Transient, Survival Route to Hunger, which is the tagline. They all had a background on, and I wanted to get rid of that background, so I've used the Magic Wand tool to erase that, just to give it just the words so they stand out on the page. I've used that for all my text, and yeah, and I've used a little sort of the lighting of the picture. I kind of darkened that to give that a darker feel to link with the sort of the dark element of my film. It's kind of got that sort of theme. Yeah, so that's another technique. And also, because the gun, interestingly, I used a fake gun. You'll be pleased to know. But what I wanted to do, obviously, I didn't want it to look like a fake gun. I wanted it to look like a convincing, real gun. So I had to use sort of the tools on Photoshop best I could, just to design the front of the gun. And what I've gone for there is just, I've put a mixture of shapes, mixture of kind of different textures to create sort of a bullet and the shadow inside that sort of that barrel of the gun. It just makes it a bit more convincing than what it was before. If I show you what it was before, I can hide the previous things here. So there you go, that's what it looked like before. As you can tell, that's not very menacing for a killer to be holding. But I thought, if I put that back on, there we go. So that is how I created that. Just some cool effects you can use on Photoshop. So they're kind of the main tools I use. It's very simplistic design, but I wanted it to be like that because I knew that that's what independent posters are like. So there you go, that's my film poster to accompany my film. So now we're going to show you how we got on interviewing Adam Powers. We caught up with him to discuss his role in the film and how things got on and his opinion on how it went.
Yeah, he's a great chap. So let's see how that went.
Well, I worked with Michael on a film called Silhouette last year. He told me he had this project coming up with Alex. Let me know a bit about the character, about the plot of the film, the genre, and it seemed like something I was interested in. So, you know, he's a great director, so as soon as he told me about the possibility of working with him again, I didn't have to think twice. It was certainly a challenge working with them. They've got a great drive to get that the perfect scene, the perfect cut. They always want it to be right on point as they intended. So there's a lot of retakes involved. But that's enjoyable, working with people who want to reach the best of their potential, and I want to do that as well. So it was a pleasure working with them. Yeah, well, the schedule's a bit hectic for starters. Always pushing the deadline of when we could leave for lunch and stuff like that. But I guess that's all part of the filming process, to be honest. A few slip-ups along the way, but you've got to deal with it. And in the end, we always got what we wanted. The actors were happy, and it was a struggle along the way, but we were happy with what we had in the end, and you can't argue with that. Well, people talk. I'm not too sure myself at the moment. Obviously, we just finished filming this. It was thoroughly enjoyable. So, if they offered me a chance to appear in a sequel to Transient, I'm pretty sure I'd take it, but we've got to see how it goes down with the audience first. If people want one, then I'm sure Alex and Michael are very hungry producers. They want to make a lot of films, they want to make good films, and it's a possibility.
Now I'm going to show you a little interview we did about the conventions of the genre.
Yeah, so we looked at theory, stuff like Levi Strauss, Tessa Perkins, and all those sort of theories, how they apply to a film, conventions, of course, and just other little things we thought we'd explore and discuss about a film. Well, hello there. We are the directors of Transient. This is Alex. I'm Michael. We thought we'd just explain a little bit about the conventions, how we've developed them, used them, and conformed to them. So, yeah, so our film is got a complex plot. It uses a lot of kind of different camera angles, especially kind of handheld techniques, just to create kind of a fast-paced, high-octane sort of feel to the film, which kind of links to the thriller genre. Yeah, and we've had, with our audience feedback, we've had a lot of people say that the film was kind of hard to follow, but we thought that was definitely kind of a convention of a trailer, because we don't want it to spoil anything for audiences. We don't want to reveal too much information. We want to make them sort of eager to see the final product. So that's kind of why we've gone for a complex yet sort of vague feel to our trailer.
Yeah, like as you said with the camera angles, for instance, I think they give it a sort of grittier urban feel than other films out there, bringing it sort of bang up to date. Our characters, the sort of mix of people that we have, the actors we chose, and the characters that we wanted to portray, they're not all obviously sort of like, they're not the same person, just duplicated. They've all got their own backstory and they're all sort of involvement, and you can see that it's not two separate sides, it is two sides, and then you've got third party members, and you've got just this whole sort of world that's been created around these sort of sets of characters.
Great. Yeah, so we thought we'd talk about sort of theories we've kind of conformed to and subverted as well. So we thought we looked at our other existing thriller films, and female characters don't tend to play a big role, like big roles at all really. I mean, they're kind of subordinate characters. So that's why we've gone for a predominantly male cast with no kind of females involved. That was just conforming to the kind of the stereotypes, the conventions of thriller genre. And that's, again, that kind of links to Tessa Perkins' sort of theory, which was about the stereotypes that are constantly portrayed in the media. Sometimes they're not true, but because of constant representation, they are just taken as truth and taken as fact. So that's why we've gone for a male cast in our film.
Yeah, the idea of female characters not appearing in our film, we had ideas, but we just thought to sort of go along with Laura Mulvey's idea of the male gaze and the female gaze. We wanted to focus on men, and we wanted it to be a film predominantly for men. Obviously, women can watch and enjoy and understand it, obviously, but it's fixated on a man's world, and it's all very sort of, it's a masculine environment, sort of testosterone filled, hierarchy in the characters. And we also, the film is a hybrid of genres. It's a crime thriller, so we can sort of mix and match between conventions of a thriller, but we can also use ideas behind crime films, and we can just mash them together, and we feel it opens up to a much wider audience. It's not just for young males or older males, or males and females obviously both enjoyed the film, like through our audience feedback that we did.
Great. We were talking about the characters there, so we've also considered Levi Strauss's theory, and what we thought, because he stated that in any sort of narrative, any film, you need to have good and evil characters to create kind of a balance. Well, in our film, we were discussing that we've kind of gone for more villains and anti-heroes in our film, rather than good versus bad. It kind of creates, again, link to the complex structure of our trailer, of our film. And that's something we've kind of subverted from a traditional narrative. Just kind of makes us different, differentiates us from existing films, and that's something we wanted to make sure we put out there to leave our mark on the industry.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, obviously, with stereotypes you were talking about before, we've gone for a few. We've got some violence in there with the main film, but obviously we can't show much of it in the trailer, but we hinted it, and that's what sort of hooks the audience. We've obviously the characters, as I said before, the violence and the sort of action shots that we have in the trailer grip people, and they obviously see it and they're like, yes, this is definitely a crime thriller film, that's the sort of film I want to see, as opposed to if we had done a very tame looking trailer, people wouldn't either understand the genre and therefore wouldn't want to go and see it, I guess. So yeah, thank you for listening to us go behind the scenes of Transient.
So now we'll go and see how the audience reacted to our film.
We released it in front of a few thriller films that are out this year in the cinema, and we just wanted to see exactly what they thought of it as the final product.
What was your initial reaction to the trailer?
Actually pretty good. Saw a lot of violence in it, which is always a good sign.
Specifically, what sort of elements did you think stood out to you?
Well, the fact that there was so much violence within the fighting and all that, and especially how that one guy got beat the living hell out of, was pretty funny. But it does make sense that it's aimed towards a male audience like myself, so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So what were your initial reactions to the film?
I liked it. It was like really kind of actiony with all the freehand camera and everything, like moving around.
Nice one. Do you want to go see it?
Yeah, definitely.
So what sort of specifically did you enjoy? Like the sound, camera angles?
Like the camera angles, especially the CCTV one.
So what were your initial reactions to the film trailer?
I really liked it. I thought that it looked like quite a fast tempo movie, and I liked the sort of quick action shots along with the music. I think that worked really well together.
Great. So what sort of specifically did you enjoy, like for you specifically?
I really like action movies, so that really worked well for me. I think it'd be great for a male audience.
So what were your initial reactions to the film trailer?
I thought it looked really good. It was really interesting. There was lots of different scenes, so you didn't get bored.
Nice. So what sort of specifically did you enjoy, like the sound or the camera angles?
I really liked the train scenes. They were really cleverly edited, and the bit where the man disappeared was really impressive.
Oh, great. So would you want to go see the film?
Definitely. It looks like the sort of thing would be engaging and fast-paced.
Nice. Thank you.
No problem.
So there you go, that wraps up our behind the scenes look at our film Transient.
That's it in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, guys.
Goodbye.